Again, we're going to read the Diary of Anne Frank for this experience. We're going to read for the experience of what happened in World War II, but we're also going to read it for many different reasons. One, it's just a great play to read. We get the experience to play, but we also, it'll tie into our next unit, actually. So looking at the Diary of Anne Frank, the Diary of Anne Frank is a what based on a true diary written by a teenage girl? Play. In this case, it'll be a play for us, okay? Teenage girl. The book itself, if you read it, goes through many things that a teenage girl will experience for the first time. Her first love interest, her first menstrual cycle, her first everything, her arguments with her mother, her arguments with friends, her arguments with her sister, thoughts about boys, graphic thoughts about boys. If you want to read the diary, it is interesting. The play won't go into as many of those things. It's implied. Okay? So, the Diary of Anne Frank is a play based on a true diary written by a teenage girl while World War II was taking place. Now I'm going to abbreviate it, WW2. Across Europe. Anne was born in Frankfurt is where? Germany. We may have to change that one. We'll keep going. She and her family had a good life there, but then blank. Hitler, or you could even use the Nazis there. Probably the Nazis in this case. Am I wrong? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Called the Nazis. Okay. Hitler believed all Jewish people were inferior. Help me understand the word inferior. Below, literally below. They'll go even farther. They did not believe they were human. Again, it's important to understand this fact that they think they're not human at all. Not even that. Go farther. Because slaves were considered more like animals, like cattle, like devices that you could use for work. Now, Jews were used for work, but they were not cared for as if they were working pieces, right? They were literally used until they were dead. That was the goal. And they built a machine around it. All right, and we'll talk about the machine as we go. And he blamed them all for the world's problems. He ordered the Nazis to capture all the German Jews and send them to concentration camps. Now, understand something. When I say that this machine was built, it literally was built to organize up and capture and collect everyone in concentration camps. Now, sometimes when we hear the word camp, we think, oh, well, it's like summer camp with barbed wire, guards, dogs, no food, ovens that would eventually cook your body, or gas chambers that would kill you. There were collection sites for all your clothing first and all your belongings. And they went as far as, before they went on the train, they went ahead and said, pack all your belongings that you can fit in such and such suitcase so that you can bring it with you. Why would they have them pack their suitcase if their end goal was to put them in a concentration camp? So why would they have them pack belongings? Huh? Yeah, why would you have someone pack their belongings if you're just going to kill them? Right? False hope. That idea of false hope. Same thing that Charlie was saying back there. It was a way to calm people. Of like, hey, bring your stuff with you. You're going to get on these trains, and then we're going to take you to these camps. But don't worry, the first thing you're going to do is go into these showers. And depending on if you went left or right, you either got a shower filled with warm to cold water, or you got one filled with gas. It was literally that simple. Now, they would sort you several times. Children and women were often sorted early on into the line with gas. Old people would generally go to gas chambers. Young men, young, strong women would go to the showers and be ready to work. I mean, your life was sorted by a point of a finger. And then you were either going to actually get sprayed with water or you were going to be killed. They didn't just it wasn't like a small dose. They were thorough. When I say this was a machine, it was a perfectly operating machine. When the trains would leave, when they would arrive, it was on a time schedule.
He does have a point.
There was a lot wrong with it. Not the way it was used, the fact that someone thought of it. Sure, but you can run trains without killing someone. German trains arrive on time and they don't take them to concentration camps. What you're saying is that it was great they were efficient. The problem is you're saying it's great they were efficient at mass murder. You laugh, but that's what you're like. You have to right. You have to think through those things though before they leave your mouth. I know. They're just working on it. Some Jews were able to hide, or blank to other countries. Escape. Think of escaping from your own home. The Franks were a Jewish family. Oops. They left Germany in 1933 and moved to the city of Amsterdam, which was where? In the Netherlands. Now, the Netherlands is also known as Holland. Okay. It is an entire country, so they had to move. They were a family that escaped. Mr. Frank set up his business with the help of some friends he had there, and the family lived a normal life for a while. Then World War II began in 1939. We did not enter the war as Americans until 1941, when Pearl Harbor was bombed, and we realized, oh, this is bad. Now, FDR did warn for a long time that Hitler was not good for the world, but it fell on deaf ears in America. And a lot of reasons, there was a lot of popular people that supported Hitler in the United States. One of them being our esteemed Charles Lindbergh. Have you ever heard of Lindbergh High School? They named that high school after Charles Lindbergh, who was the first male pilot to fly around the world successfully. And he was.
I know the story. I don't know the name.
He was fairly popular at the time. He was a movie star quality individual. Hitler's soldiers soon what? Invaded the Netherlands, which is bad, where the Franks were living. During the war, Jews suffered greatly. They had to register with the government and wear a yellow star. Specifically, it was the Star of David. Now, it's important to understand what the Star of David looked like, because it is except the pentagram has 5. And the Star of David is the idea of 3 holy points intersecting. Okay? This is a symbol of faith within the Jewish faith, Jewish tradition. They use it as a moniker to show who they were and that they were evil and against the government. Okay? That's how sinister this is. They take a religious symbol and make it something very different. And it was a well thought out plan. On all of their clothing, so that everyone would know they were Jewish, any business or property. They owned were taken away. Why would you take away their belongings? Yeah, you want to own them. All over Europe, Hitler's armies arrested millions of Jews and put them to death. About 6 million Jews died in what became known as the Holocaust. In 1942, the Franks went into hiding in the attic of a warehouse on her 13th birthday. What a celebration, huh? What did she receive as a present? She received her diary from her father. What were the last two blanks? Mr. Frank. And this is where we'll pick up. Mr. Frank was able to retrieve the diary when he returned to the secret attic. Have good days. Be good people. If not,